disseminate to the public. I am not a big-time news media representative, but I am just a vlogger or such. But you guys cannot discriminate between those two.
Actually, I believe we can. Okay. Anything else on that? Okay, moving along. We'll adjourn the work session. We're going to do things a little bit differently. City Council is now going to meet in executive session pursuant to RS 192.660 2H to consult with counsel concerning the legal rights and duties of a public body with regard to current litigation or litigation likely to be filed. Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience are asked to leave the room. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on or otherwise disclose any of the deliberations or anything said about these subjects during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision may be made in executive session. At the end of the executive session, we would adjourn and return to open session at the regularly scheduled City Council meeting, which will occur at 6 p.m. And we still adjourn the work session.
Thanks, Council.
Yeah, we have to go into executive.
We will be going into executive session.
Don't we have to say that before we adjourn?
I take the adjournment back.
Well, we'll adjourn. We're adjourning the work session and then we'll go into the executive. But one moment, I'm going to switch over to the recording.
Yes.
I'm here as a representative of news media as well.
Which news media?
Independent.
I don't believe
Bye.
I am a known quantity here. You guys have often called me the guy with the camera. Many of you have asked for my work and YouTube channel. I am a known quantity that puts stuff out to disseminate to the public. I am not a big-time news media representative, but I am just a vlogger or such. But you guys cannot discriminate between those two.
Actually, I believe we can. Allie?
Thank you. Yes. It's page 151, and the Attorney General defines what is permissible and acceptable as media attending our meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very narrowly defined, and they include the language that a blogger is not an acceptable means of media representation in an executive session.
I understood it to read the exact opposite, that those were acceptable and quantifiable media outlets.
Yes, I hear that. So it's chapter 2 under public meetings, page 151.
Yes, I read it.
The news media is not limited to traditional print and broadcast media, but can include internet media. For example, while a blogger keeping an online personal journal with reflections and comments would likely not qualify as a representative of the news media, an individual who regularly posts for a website maintained by a traditional media company like CNN.com likely would qualify.
I feel YouTube is a very common.
You don't represent YouTube. That's the distinction. If you were representing CNN, but you do not represent YouTube, it's simply.
No, I'm independent, and as such, my work can be featured anywhere. Since the last time you kicked me out, I've been featured in an international news journal.
That's a very different designation, and our ruling here is that you.
I think if you go ahead and you establish yourself and establish a media source and get an LLC and do all of those processes to officially establish yourself, but you're going to need to go through the legal channels, then I think you can substantiate. But
So you're saying
until then,
LLC is what will substantiate that?
you would need to file with the state. You would need to file as like a media outlet. Like it's all of those hoops that you would have to legally go through.
Now then, I would like to point out the key word there, can. There was a word there that it can be. I will leave now, but it is going to be formally documented that you are kicking me out.
Okay.
I'll be back. Have a good day.
Only for the executive